The Longest Week by Cipher. Performed by Otis Jiry. Think of all the people I'll never get to know or even meet. Think of all the people who will never take advantage of me. Read, drink, read some more. Think about the fact that there are no other people to write new books, and even if there were, there would likely be no people to publish them. Drink heavily. Think about the fact that I am possibly, technically, the best writer in the world. Drink to that. Hold up my empty bottle. Smile, realizing alcohol is now free. Put the bottle in the blue bin. Consider how pointless said blue bin is. Open window. Look around. Throw empty bottle at something. Close window. Open window. Unlock all doors. Open all doors. Think about animals, people going from there to not there, and how, even in an empty room, you can feel eyes on you, especially in an empty room. Think about how the whole world is now essentially one giant empty room. Shudder. Close windows. Close doors as quietly as possible. Lock doors. Lock windows. Push furniture in front of doors. Shake my head and laugh a little. Cry. Open another bottle. Notice the clearing left on the floor now that all the furniture has been moved. Move pillows and blanket onto the floor. Put bottle away. Try to get to sleep. Get up. Go to look out window through blinds. Try to decide what would be worse. Seeing the now familiar nothing that was there when I threw the bottle, or seeing something. Decide against looking out window. Pull out fine china and cups and stack them in front of all entrances. Think about how ridiculous my house now looks, with furniture blocking the doors, and dishes everywhere. Carry pillows and blankets upstairs, along with a knife from the kitchen. Put knife under pillow. Realize how hilarious it would be if I thrashed around while sleeping and accidentally slit my wrists. Put knife on nightstand instead. Lie in bed. Think about how little I actually know about first aid. Think about all the people who have been in the bed with me and are now simply nowhere. Try not to cry. Cry. Move bedstuffs into closet, along with knives and an electric lantern. Decide I'll turn the light off soon. Listen. 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 Hear nothing. Fall asleep. Dream of everyone who is now not there, all watching me, all silent, waiting for something. Wake up with a scream. Think about how loud that scream was. Listen. Listen. Hold the knife tightly. Listen. Put the knife down. Pull a blanket over myself. Wake up. Open eyes. See nothing. Panic. Open closet door. Breathe. Try to remember turning off electric lantern. Pick up lantern. Notice switch is set to on. Think about how few batteries are left and where they might be. Search closet for batteries. Put the knives in my back pocket. Try to ignore the box in the corner. Think about how few photos of her I have and how I'll never hear her laugh again. Try not to cry. Laugh instead. Realize how empty that laughter sounds. Shudder. Find a bottle. Drink. Crack the blinds to let more light in. Sit on the bed. Think about how the only laughter I'll ever hear from this point on will be my own. Drink heavily. Leave the empty bottle on the bed and go downstairs. Look for something to eat. Settle on noodles. Think about how loud the crunching is as I chew. Swallow. Cough. Look for something to wash it down. Finish off the last of the flat soda. Sit down in the middle of the room. Look at the furniture and stacked china. Run my fingers through my hair and think about how long I might be able to make this food last. Feel the familiar pain of hunger. Ignore it. Read. Empty out drawers looking for batteries. Rummage through junk looking for something useful. Think about how much trash a person accumulates while they live, and how almost all of it outlives them. Set aside things like lighters, duct tape, and books. Realize I never looked in the nightstand. Go upstairs and look in the nightstand. Find new batteries. Rip them out of the packaging, put them in the lantern. Notice the lantern still doesn't work. Make sure I put them in the right way. Still nothing. Yeah, curse. Look out the window and try to determine how much light I have left. Notice as clouds block the sun and the light turns weakly and sickly. Think about how dark the world gets without electric light. No street lights, no headlights, no dim glow of television sets through windows. Think about being all alone in that darkness. Look at my neighbor's house. Gather up all the odds and ends I've set aside in a bag. Put the remainder of my food in that bag. Carefully move the china and furniture away from the front door. Unlock the front door. Reach for the doorknob. Hesitate. Lock the front door. Sit on the floor and think. Leave the bag on the floor. Get another bag and go around the house collecting the bottles that aren't empty. Set that bag next to the first one. Stare at the door. Think of all the empty houses and how every house in the world will be empty the moment I cross that threshold. Think of all the people who used to live in those houses. Feel cold. Fight the feeling that I'm being watched. Go upstairs and open the box in the closet for the first time in what feels like years. Take out the pictures. Hold them by the edges carefully and look at her. Remember. Remember. Put the pictures in my pocket, walk downstairs, and pick up the bags. Look around my house and notice how little it looks like a home. Unlock the front door. Put my hand on the doorknob, feeling the cool metal. Think about miles and miles and miles of emptiness. Turn the knob a fraction of an inch. Realize I'm sweating. Realize my hand is shaking. Take a deep breath. Let out a short scream as thunder crashes and the house shakes. Breathe. Listen to the first drops of rain turn into a downpour that drowns out the silence. Smile. Open the door. Take the first few steps out of the house and into the pouring rain. Flinch when the cold water hits me. Realize I can just barely make out where the road begins, much less see the house that should be across the street. Think about how this could be the last time I ever leave my home. Turn around. Look at the house. Look at the steps and at the windows. Close the door. Head back into the storm, walk further and further into the darkness. Think about the fact that further ceases to have any meaning if the darkness is everywhere. Hear something. A door slamming? A gunshot. Stop in the middle of the road. Pull one of my knives out of my back pocket. Try to hear anything other than the rain beating against empty cars and empty houses. Hold the knife tightly. Listen. Hear the sound again, much closer than the last time. Sprint for where the front door of my neighbor's house should be. Try not to think about the fact that it might be locked. Try not to think about the fact that it'll probably be locked. Bite back a scream as something cuts into my foot and I trip. Fall. Ignore the pain. Ignore the pain. Scramble to my feet. Run. Slam into the door. Fumble for the doorknob. Open the door and push it shut behind me. Lock it. Look for something, anything, to push in front of it. Realize I can't see. Panic. Thank whatever gods might be listening that I managed to keep my supplies with me. Dig through one of the bags until my fingers close on a lighter. Stop. Think about how bright the flame would be. Bright enough to be seen from outside? Weigh my options. Pocket the lighter. Decide to walk further into the house. Take a few limping steps away from the door. Stagger. Fall. Try not to scream. Whimper. Set the knife down. Gently touch my foot. Realize the wetness I feel isn't rainwater. Slowly, carefully unlace my shoe and pull it off. Fumble around trying to find. Bite my cheek to keep from screaming. Work my fingers into the wound and pull out something that feels as long as last night. Set it aside. Take a deep breath. Notice the smell, blood, and something rotten nearby. Pick up the knife and struggle to my feet. Cry out in pain. Suck in the air and choke back bile. Decide to limit myself to quick, shallow breaths. Listen. Hear the rain. Move further into the dark, knife at the ready. Try to ignore the stench. Think about how long it takes for a corpse to rot. Think about bloated, discolored bodies and vacant staring eyes, lifeless, empty. Think about dead arms reaching out, waiting for the last man on earth to walk into their cold embrace. Pull the lighter out of my pocket and wrap my fingers around it. Keep creeping forward, away from the door, and closer to the source of the smell. Feel the hair on my arms stand up. Try not to imagine dead eyes, mere inches from mine. Stiffen as I bump into something hard and it falls. Curse! Listen. Hear nothing but the rain and my own harsh breathing. Jump as lightning strikes nearby. Notice the doorway to my left. Pause as lightning flashes again, and the doorway remains dark. Head towards it slowly. Smirk as the irony of the situation dawns on me, heading into deeper darkness to reach the light. Take a few steps into the room and gag as the smell hits me again, nearly overwhelming me this time. Flick the lighter to life, look around. Quickly take in my surroundings. One kitchen, empty. 4 places set at the table, meals abandoned, food so spoiled that I hesitate to even label it as such. 3 chairs near the table. Another chair knocked over and forgotten. Several dishes in the sink waiting forever to be washed. A refrigerator, contents likely as appetizing as what I saw on the table. Pictures and magnets on the fridge, smiles frozen in time. Notice the flame flicker and dip low. Sigh. Kill the flame and think. Think about empty lighters, empty rooms, and an empty stomach. Imagine what the cabinets might contain. Realize such speculation is pointless, as I have no way of knowing what's in them, if anything, until I open them. Decide to search Schrodinger's cabinets tomorrow, when I have the luxury of daylight. Flick the lighter back to life. Limp over to the sink. Search under it looking for a flashlight. Find nothing. Not a thing I can use. Almost slam my hand against the linoleum floor. Stop. Realize I'm still holding the knife. Pocket the knife. Kill the light. Try to figure out where they would have kept the flashlight. Do my best to ignore the fact that there might not be a flashlight. Sit in the dark. Scowl as my stomach breaks the silence. Think about how strange my life has become. It's the end of the goddamned world. And here I am, sitting in the dark, surrounded by rotting food and the detritus of man, and all I can really focus on is how much I want a sandwich.